Reflection. Chapter 1. The new apartment. After his divorce, Ethan moved into a small apartment on the edge of town. The building was old. The air carried a faint smell of dust and damp wood, and the floorboards creaked under every step. But it was quiet, and that was all he needed. The landlady, an elderly woman with pale, watchful eyes, handed him the keys without much small talk. Before she left, she paused by the hallway and nodded toward a large, full-length mirror leaning against the wall. It was old, the frame dark and carved with twisting floral designs, the glass slightly tinted with age. "Just don't place it facing the bed," she said softly. Ethan smiled politely, assuming it was superstition, and didn't ask any questions. Chapter 2. The first sign. The first strange thing happened 2 nights later. Around midnight, he got up to get a glass of water. As he passed through the hallway, something about the mirror caught his eye. The reflection didn't move quite right. When he stepped forward, his reflection followed just a fraction of a second too late. So subtle he almost thought he imagined it. He stared for a few seconds, then shook his head and walked away. Probably just tiredness. The next morning, it seemed silly, but later that day, as he brushed his teeth, he noticed his reflection wasn't looking straight at him. Its gaze was slightly off, focused somewhere just past his shoulder. He turned. Nothing but the tiled wall behind him. Chapter 3. The camera. A few days later, curiosity turned into unease. Ethan decided to test it. He set his phone on the counter, pressed record, and moved in front of the mirror, raising his hand, blinking, turning his head. Then he played the video back. The reflection blinked first. He frowned and tried again. Same thing. Over and over. Every time, the reflection blinked just a little too soon. When he stopped recording and glanced at the screen, his reflection was smiling. He wasn't. Ethan stared for a long second, then threw a white sheet over the mirror and walked away. Chapter 4. Without the mirror days passed. The mirror stayed covered, but the uneasiness didn't go away. Reflections followed him everywhere, on the dark laptop screen, in the window at night, even in the polished metal of the kettle. In every surface, his reflection looked a little wrong. Tired. Pale. The eyes darker than they should have been. One night, when the power went out, Ethan caught sight of his reflection in the window. It was standing closer than he was. He stepped back. The reflection didn't. Chapter 5. The call the next morning, the phone rang. It was the landlady. Her voice trembled. "Did you touch the mirror?" He told her he had only covered it. "Never cover it," she whispered. "It needs to see you." Always. Before he could ask what she meant, the line went dead. When he turned toward the hallway, the sheet was gone. The mirror stood uncovered, spotless, as if it had never been touched. Chapter 6. The replacement. That evening, Ethan decided to throw it out. He lifted the mirror carefully. The frame felt strangely warm, almost like skin. He turned it toward the door and froze. The reflection didn't move. It stood perfectly still, staring back at him with wide, glassy eyes. Then, slowly, it took a step forward. Another. The face twisted, the smile too wide, the eyes too dark, the skin stretching like something alive beneath the surface. Ethan dropped the mirror. It shattered across the floor. When he looked down, dozens of tiny reflections stared up from the shards. They moved independently. One blinked. One smiled. One tilted its head. Chapter 7. The ending. The next morning, the landlady came by. The door was unlocked. Inside, the apartment was silent. Only the broken glass remained, scattered across the hallway floor. She knelt and picked up a shard. Her own face stared back, pale and anxious. Then, in the reflection, another face appeared behind hers. It smiled.